Yeah, they're 20 feet tall for sure. And yep, they have an extensive root system. But when I lived in Texas, they had a different kind of mulberry tree that was fast growing tree. Now maybe they had fruit on it and they long since lost their fruit. Much bigger trees. And you would top them off and then they would resprout, and it was like a decorative tree that you would have in your yard, which could be as big around as a maple tree. And the leaves were the size of rhubarb leaves. Massive, big leaves. And when they fell, it was a mess. And then they got webworms in them constantly. Yeah, I took down the mulberry trees in my yard. I'm like, no, thank you. That's a mess. So, okay. But I did not tell it to, like, this just fascinates me. Like, have you ever had, like, oh yeah, I could just tell a tree to go jump in the river or in the sea. Yep. Hey, oak tree there. Yeah, go do that. I have no expectation of it really happening. So I don't think this is a level of, if you had faith, it's this small, you could ask for this to happen. I don't have any desire to make it happen. I mean, there'd be the silliness of, I'd like to see it and film it. And that's not my heart in it. It's not a need to have it. But for other things that seem as even as much impossible as a tree uprooting itself and transplanting itself, or a mountain casting itself into the sea. The mountain casting itself in the sea seems a little bit more plausible if an earthquake happens. It depends on how far away the sea is, I guess. But it's a comparison level. It's not this is what we need to literally do. I can't imagine that because I don't want to imagine it. I don't really want to see the tree casting itself into the... It's not... What does it do for me? Now, maybe if I'm a missionary in some place and... wanting to share the gospel and hoping that something would happen to perform a sign and wonder that people would believe, okay, then maybe. Yeah, Chovy webworms, yes. Yep, if you've ever had those, they are not fun. Would any one of you say to your slave who comes in from the field after plowing or shepherding sheep, "Come at once and sit down for a meal"? Won't the master instead say to him, "Get my dinner ready and make yourself ready to serve me while I eat and drink? Then you may eat and drink." He won't take the slave because he did, or he won't thank the slave because he did what was told, will he? So you too, when you have done everything you were commanded to do, should say, "We are slaves undeserving of special praise. We have only done what was our duty." Okay, Squidward. I didn't realize I was doing a Squidward. I wasn't really trying to. "We are slaves undeserving of special praise. We have only done what was our duty." Anyway, don't think more highly of yourself. If you're in this position, don't think and don't brag and don't think you have special favor. When you do what you're supposed to, you're supposed to. So, thank you, Bishop Squidward. Samarella, hey! You usually speak on the Bible and stuff, but will it be okay for me to talk for a while? This might be off topic, but you need advice on how to deal with this. Absolutely, Samarella, go for it. Always open to that. And if Supersonic Saved by Grace comes in, he had asked me some things last week that I shared with him, so I might follow up with him too. So, yeah, go ahead, Samarella. Good to see you. Now, on the way to Jerusalem, Jesus was passing along between Samaria and Galilee. As he was entering a village, 10 men with leprosy met him. Okay, 10. Why do we have 10? 10 is the 10 commandments, followers of the Torah. So they are going to know the commandments. That might be why we have 10 here. They stood at a distance, raised their voice and said, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. When he saw them, he said, Go and show yourself to the priest. And as they went along, they were cleansed. Then one of them, when he saw he was healed, turned back, praising God in a loud voice. He fell with his face to the ground at Jesus' feet and thanked him. Now he was a Samaritan. Then Jesus said, Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Was no one found to turn back and give praise to God except this foreigner? Then he said to the man, Get up and go your way. Your faith has made you well. So this is one of those odd stories. And it's like, okay, what are we to make of the one turning back? The one is turning back, praising God, but he's not being obedient to the command to go show himself to the priest, right? Oh, he still is. This doesn't do it directly. He comes back and thanks Jesus and praises God and does all of this. The others could have done it. So this is a difference of the spirit of the law and the letter of the law, I think. Of Jesus hasn't diminished it. It's a different, of exuberant of the heart that we're going to be obeying things. So hope that makes sense. Okay, let me get to what Sam Morella says. We do have ads in about 3 minutes, so I might pause those if we need to. Okay, Sam. First, you got into the hospital, had to go the surgeries even when you didn't want to because you didn't have a choice. Your stepmom hate me more than anything now, probably more. You couldn't walk anymore. Can't do anything on your own anymore. And now I find out I have a stalker again, and I don't know how else to take this, Pastor. You're scared. You keep wishing for me to be gone. I was in the hospital, and that's so stupid of me. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what all the rules in your country are. But in the U.S., if someone has a stalker, you report it to the police, to the authorities. You might go so far as to get a restraining order so that they're not able to come near you. Now, those don't actually stop people that are totally intending to do you harm from doing you harm, but they give you recourse and others recourse when that person shows up to call and have them removed so that they can't do you harm. So there's that piece that you could see if there's availability of doing that where you live. I don't know if that's possible. Is the paralysis permanent? Is there a chance of maybe it's not permanent? I'm just wondering there. Yeah. And I don't know fully if you're staying with your stepmom and all of that, you might be at the mercy of other people in how you can respond and do things. So you did 3 times, but they didn't want to do anything unless you're in immediate danger or in harm's way. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate because studies show that when you don't stop a person, they get more aggressive at times, and I hope that's not the case. I don't know if this is a possibility or not, Samarella. It might not be. I'm just wondering, is there a possible way for you to change your living arrangements to be somewhere else so that the person doesn't know where you are and be able to find you? Yeah, you got a couple of things going on there. Your stepmom and all of that circumstance, a stalker and all of that circumstance. And I don't know what help or resources would be in your country to even give you suggestions on those. Anyone else have thoughts that might be helpful for Samarella? I know your friend Lena was around and on Twitch. I don't know if that's someone that might be able to assist, or if you have someone else that could help in some way. You can't live with your stepmom. She got arrested for what she did to you in the hospital. You're living alone now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking if there's some way to have a roommate that's able to be around, so there's someone there, but I don't know what, you have to have a very big level of trust with that person. I would know. That's why I was asking if Lena or another good friend might be someone able to help with. And if the authorities aren't going to help enforce things, that's really difficult. I'm sorry. I'd say I don't have any better suggestions. I'm sorry. I wish I did. Let's just pray for you, Samarella, in this whole situation. God, we're just lifting up Samarella and this situation with a stalker. May you change their heart and mind. We know that that one of the things is they get something stuck in their head. They're consumed by it. They are not necessarily thinking appropriately about things. And so we're just asking you to change the mind of the stalker, to change their heart, to change their attitude towards Samarella, which seemingly is towards harm and is causing fear, that they be removed from that pursuit, that you intervene, whether that is through friends or by the direct changing of them, or by some other thing that they do that gets them locked away so that they can't do harm to people. God, we're just praying that you intervene in this situation, that you step in and surround Samarella with your guardian angels to protect her, to watch over her, to give her peace, to give her rest, to give her protection so that no harm can come to her. We just pray with the whole living situation and the family situation. God, may you bring restoration and healing and comfort in all of that. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Yeah, you don't want to be constantly scared for the past 2 days. But yeah, I wouldn't either. You thought of calling your sister, but you didn't want to bother her too much with it. You called Lena to come over, and she is coming and staying with you tonight. Honestly, Pastor, I just want to cry to someone. I understand. The other thing I would say, Samarella, I know you don't want to be a bother to someone, but it's up to that person to decide if it's a bother. So if I lived close enough and I was able to come over, I wouldn't feel bothered if you asked me to come over every week, and sometimes I had to say, I can't this week. I wouldn't feel bothered if you did that. Now, I might be an exception to that, I know. But what I'm saying is let your sister make the decision if it bothers her or not, or even ask the question and say, hey, I do not want to be a bother to you, but right now I'm not feeling safe and I really feel I need someone to stay with me. Would you be able to? So even the way that you might ask to let the person know that you don't want to be a bother and they have the right to say no, but you really have a need that you're feeling. And then I wouldn't, unless you're able to get someone permanent, I wouldn't be asking someone every day. Then you might really feel like a bother and they might feel like you're bothering them. But like, hey, it's been really bad these couple of days. I need someone. Can you come over? Let them decide. And then also, like I said, tell them you don't want to be a bother. Got some way to protect yourself, like a firearm if you can. Yeah, Zach, that's a personal thing. I don't know. Some people are not comfortable with that, but I know what you're saying. Sam, 2 days ago, he showed up at your house in the middle of the night, taking pictures of your house and stuff, and you're not sure what to really do. Yeah. Well, again, that might even be just asking the authorities, if he shows up in the middle of the night taking pictures, what should you do? Maybe they have some advice too, that you would be able to do. All right. We got ads coming in, so